Well, you asked for it, and you got it. This is probably the largest equipment expansion that Giants has ever done. Expansion in general. We got a new map, and we got literally like 70 new pieces. We'll have to count them, but there's a ton. I don't even have everything out here. I didn't put out any of the new buckets, shovels, cutting device, like tree cutters. Everything's still like, all that stuff is still in the shop. And this isn't it. There's more over there, and there's more behind the shop. There's so much stuff in this update. And for the price that they're asking, I think it's totally fair. But if you already own the game, the DLC is only $18.99. And that's the same price that other expansions have been. But we get so much stuff from so many different brands. I'm blown away by the amount of equipment that we got. Now, some of these obviously ahead of us are variations, but in general, it's mostly new, like different pieces of equipment. So let's go ahead and hop on down from our perch and take a look at what new equipment we have. This is insane. So starting out, we got a couple tree harvesters. These are expensive, but they're cool. We have a Komatsu, which is all tread. Looks to be a little bit smaller. We have a larger Komatsu, which is, I'm not even going to run all of these because there's too much stuff. Like to get through, it's going to take us hours. And I need to make this video somewhat brief. So both of these are obviously tree cutters. This one's going to handle larger trees for sure than that one. And it looks like it's a little bit more able to do off-roading. Sit inside of it and take a look around. Yeah, these are really cool. Different sounding engines, different looking cockpits. Pretty neat stuff. I need to move this. Hang on. Next up, we have our Hannibal T50. This whole device tilts when you're on hills to keep it stable. And it look at here in the picture. It's meant to go up a pretty steep incline and harvest trees. I believe this one just picks the tree up and cuts it, and you can walk off with it. So it's like a buncher. Although as a buncher, it's not going to carry more than one tree, but it can carry that tree. I mean, this thing is just freaking huge. That's a serious piece of equipment. It's also very expensive. It's almost $1 million. But if you're serious about harvesting big trees, this thing will get you through. So, and then behind us, we have a bunch of Volvo tree. These are kind of maybe the star of the show without realizing it. These can have, now this one I've put the tree harvester on it, but you can also buy a tree harvester for it. This is going to be the best tree harvester that you can get for this one though, but they're modular. So you can go into the shop and use a bunch of different cutters. I'll show you. With the Volvos, you have all these different cutter heads that work. You got Rust Tech, you got a wood cracker, which is meant for basically the same thing. It's like a buncher. You cut the tree and pick it up and carry it off. You can pick up trees that are on the ground. This is, I believe, stump remover. It's a forestry mulcher for stumps and bushes. So these can all be attached. The tractor can also, or the device can also come with a grabber. I think I've got one here with one. This is what you attach those to. There's one with a grabber. So you can pick up logs or other items and move them around. So this is a very, very useful piece of equipment. Probably more so, like, while this guy's impressive, these might be a bit more flexible in the long run for you to do a bunch of different items logging or a bunch of different things logging. You can see my frame rates are just dying here because there's so much equipment. I've never had that happen before. Up front, we have our John Deere buncher. This guy cuts down up to 2 trees and then moves them out of the forest. Does not strip the trees. You'll need to process them with one of these processors. So that this strips off branches and cuts pieces of wood. This will just bring it out of the woods. And then you have also, if you are just moving logs around, and that's what this guy's for. This guy is, I guess you'd call it a dragger or forwarder. But this is meant to grapple logs and drag them out of the forest. And you see the shovel on the front can push brush aside. So this guy it's a beast. And it really is meant to just grab some logs and drag them along through the woods. I guess in the industry they call it a skidder. So if that sounds a little bit better, we have our skidder right here. And once again, we're back. We're gonna head this way first, and then I'm getting stuck. Once again, smaller Volvo there. They come in a couple different sizes. You got the 250 DL and then the 350, which is the larger one. This one obviously has more horsepower and can do a couple more things because it's bigger, including having this huge harvesting head, whereas this guy cannot have that huge harvesting head. It can have the woodcutter, but it can't have the head. Here we have a Kubota, and I've attached it one of the new pieces of equipment that has been included. This is the SFB 750 Strike Force, and it breaks rocks up, and then you can use your little Volvo shovel to scoop it up, or a tractor with a shovel, scoop it up and take the rocks to a debris crusher. But if you're clearing an area of trees and you keep getting stuck on the rocks, you can bring this guy in and chop up the rocks. That's a nice feature and cool, new to Farm Sim. So moving on along, we'll finish off the stuff on this side and move back over to the other equipment that we've got parked to our right. Here we have the Manitou forklift, and this is a heavy-duty forklift. It can lift some pretty heavy stuff. However, if it gets really heavy, like if you fill up one of these guys with wood, you'll have to move them to using one of the front loaders instead of this. This isn't heavy enough. But it's pretty heavy-duty. It can move large packages of pallets and stuff like that, steel rolls. Those kind of things we're going to be moving on this map. So you're going to have one of these to do that. And now we have some cool Volvo trucks. We've got the F16, which is like the FH16, their older Globetrotter model, faithfully recreated here for Farm Sim. Available in a 485 and 500 horsepower edition. You can paint the top, the bottom, and change the color of your grill. So that's kind of cool. It's got tricolor going on. And on this, I have hooked one of the new log carts from Schwartzmuller. We already have one in the game, but this is a Schwartzmuller brand. Let's hop in the truck and see the cockpit. Got that diesel sound. Definitely vintage Volvo controls. Old school 4-speed, 8-speed transmission with reverse. Look at the seat patterns. I love that. Matching this trailer back here in the back, I've got parked one that you can drag with your trailer, or maybe even like a large pickup truck. But this is a drag behind logging cart for a little bit shorter logs. That way you don't have to buy a semi-truck to use it. It'd be kind of cool if they had a hitch. Actually, they do. I wonder if you can... No, they don't. If you could hitch this to the other trailer and have like a train and pull multiple logs, that'd be really cool. I'm going to back this guy out of the way so we can look at the next setup. All right, next up we have the new Volvo FH16. Or what's it called? FH. Okay, that's the F16. This is the FH16. Basically the latest version of the Volvo. Inside, it looks like a Toyota pickup truck. I mean, a Toyota minivan. I had a minivan for a while that looked just like this inside. Micah can attest to that. The colors are a little different, but nice truck. Attached to it, we have an interesting thing here. This is the in-game flatbed, and I did this because this one was too short. This is the new one, but this is a lowboy that came with the game. And as you can see here, I barely have fit on one of these new containers. Now, the containers are available in 3 different sizes. So this is the largest of the containers. And like I said, I would not even consider this a fit because we're on to the ramps, which is not safe. In IRL, you'd want to load it so that it's here and not that far back. So you need a shorter one. So this thing can take a shorter one, but I wouldn't, honestly, if I was trying to be safe, I wouldn't put this on here. But you can. These end up going on the trains. This is one of the new things that's in the DLC. We have shipping containers. The doors can be opened, and you can load it up with logs. And they have some video or pictures of that happening on this guy. but I've chosen to do it here. I've got this one backwards. The door's on the wrong end, so I cannot open the doors and get this. Oh, well. So that trailer's in game, but you can fit it on here if you want to. If you really want to push it, you can fit it onto this Load King. And then next up, we have our Volvo American-style truck, the VNX. We see these all the time. Well, not this X model, but we see the Volvo, I think it's the VL or whatever, on our roads all the time here in America. This one, however, is set up for logging in a heavy-duty way. Look at the size of that front tire. That is not a standard tire. So this could be used as an agricultural truck or also a road hauler for logging. But the cool thing is that this has several different chassis setups. Same with this guy. You can get it with this guy with two or three. I believe this one actually comes in. Let's take a look. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. What I was getting at was that these come in several different back-end configurations. You get a tandem, a tridem, and tridem long, tandem long. That's pretty cool. And then the other, the FH16 has the, you have a 4x2, 6x4, 6x4 with a tag, 6x4 with a push tag, push, and back to the 4x2. So there's several different chassis configurations is what I was getting at. That's pretty cool. And then back here we have the new lowboy from Schwarzmüller. So you'd have to put a shorter trailer on. I'd say probably the next size down would fit on here okay. But there's that. So that's neat. Then we have these Volvo. We got a smaller L120H and a larger 180H. And these are basically big front loaders. These are really big front loaders. They might be the largest ones that have been in the game so far, except for maybe the Claas. Like this one's looks like it's the same size as the Claas Turion. This guy here. In fact, is it a Turion? Like rebadged. Ooh, we got one. We got another rebadge in this pack that I'll show you in a couple of minutes. I don't think that's a Turion rebadged. Let's take a look real quick here. I'm going to take a real quick look. Or Torion, I'm sorry. I'm saying Turion. It's Torion. No, that's different. Okay. That would be the other comparable one, would be the Claas Turion. Honestly, I think Volvo, if I was to pick in real life, I'd go with the Volvo. We have this giant log grappler. This thing is sweet meats. Look at the size of this thing. Golly. Ooh, dunk. That's awesome. So that's an L200H high lift. And I think that's based on the same frame as our... Actually, it might be even bigger than the 180. That's freaking huge. Crazy stuff. Okay, and oh yeah, and to match this lowboy, by the way, and I missed this back in the back, we have another Schwarzmüller lowboy. That's a pull behind. This is a nice one. Like I said, we already have stuff like this in the game. That's not anything groundbreaking. What we do have that's kind of cool too, that's new, aside from the mega forklift, we got a new Volvo tractor. Isn't that cute? They give you this when you start the map. And now we have a winching system. So we can attach the tractor to the back, or the winch to the back of the tractor, and then pull trees out of the woods using the winching system. What I'm real excited about are these what they're called yarders. And you can see this is one that is upright already. It gets tied off to nearby trees like a tent. You make it nice and secure. Then you have a winch system, and you can tie trees to the winch and drag them back to the main area. This one is meant to be powered by a tractor. This one is a portable solution with its own generator, so you can park it, get it set up, and then yard stuff to that location. It makes it so that you don't have to, like bring tractors into a wooded area or maybe a steep hill. You can just drag them back using the cable. So that's a neat device. We already have one of these in game. We have a new brand now. This is the Fanzelt is the brand. I'm going to forget that, but Pans out, fans out. It's probably fans out. And we have their brand of logging grappler trailer. This is a forwarding trailer. You put it on your tractor and load logs into it and forward it to wherever the logs are going. You can also get this without the crane. So if you want to just use it as a log trailer, that's fine too. Then we have the Fanzelt winch. Same thing as the other one over here, just different brand. This is a Fanzelt forwarder, kind of a neat piece of equipment. This is designed to grab several logs, and you use the grappler to put them in this huge grappler, the little grappler to grab the big grappler. And that snaps shut, and then you drag all your logs using this out of the forest. It's a little bit easier than trying to load them in a trailer, but that's that. And then we have a tractor that is set up for forestry. To me, this looks like an older Valtra model. I know it's a Fanzelt, but it's based on a Valtra for sure. Like last year's model. It's not the new one, the newer Valtras, but like 5 years ago model. But it's got a built-in winch on the back. Looks like it's got two like dual winches. That's pretty neat. And then it's also got a grappling crane to move logs around, load them onto trailers. So you could use this with this and have no crane on that. And then you could just use this to load it onto there. That's pretty neat. Or onto a Volvo if you have a Volvo, one of those Volvo forwarders. Or this guy. You could help this load up, to where you are running it. And last but not least, we have another brand here. I will never be able to say that properly. Colchen Ruther. It's basically a John Deere tractor with all kinds of upgrades and changes so that it can also be what this tractor is. It is basically, it's got some winches on it. It's got like a winch system back here. Dual, again, it looks like. And then you have the grappler on the front. So this is a pretty beefy tractor used to pull logs up out of the woods and lift them and move them around. And once again, it is definitely based on a John Deere 6R. I know somebody was arguing with me about no, it's a German company. I know it's a German company, but it's based on, the tractor itself is made by John Deere. The parts are made by the German company. But you can see here, just looking at the two hoods, they're identical. So, yes, the cockpit's identical, except for this one has forestry stuff in it. So anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. That's why I parked the 6R next to it, so you can see for yourself that, oh yeah, it's even been lowered a little bit. Look at that. It sits a little lower on the ground, but it is for sure a John Deere. And then I would say last but not least on our little equipment adventure, we have a group of vintage Volvo logging equipment, and also with the new iron ore thing in the map, which is not complete, but it's there. Obviously, we have the vintage tractor. We also have these vintage pieces of equipment. You can use this to shovel up broken rocks, field rocks, whatever you need. It's basically like a little front loader that's affordable. And then you have a little dump truck that you can dump it into. This is cool. I might use this for all kinds of different stuff. But anyway, we have a little miniature dump truck, a little toy dump truck. And then last but not least, we have a little forwarder. So this is a good way to get into forestry if you want a little bit more advanced equipment without having to spend a ton of money. This is good stuff. I want to see real quick something. Hold on. This is what I wanted to show you. With the Volvo BM, you can also get forklifts, pallet forks, and that'll work with our little BM. These shovels work with it. That'll work with it. And then this Volvo bag lifter will work with it. I don't know if that's probably too big. Yeah. It's for the bigger ones. I was hoping the log I wish it had a little log grapple. That's one thing that it is missing. It'd be cool to be able to pick up logs with that little tractor and move stuff around. Yeah, that's for those. These are the attachments that I was talking about. We talked about it a little bit before, but I did miss this one. This one is the Rizutech is for planting trees. I think this plants 240 trees. Yeah, 240. Yep. And so once you're done cutting up an area, you go back in there with this and put some trees back, and they'll start to grow, and then you can move on to the next area, and eventually you'll have trees there. You can also mark the wood with trees that you want to cut and trees that you want to leave. I don't know. I mean, I guess as they grow, you'll mark them and get the idea, but that's pretty neat. Helps you find your way around. And so I think that does it. I mean, this is really cool stuff that they've given us. And I am very excited to be able to try this out. We're going to be obviously making a map and playing on it. I know Kyle's going to join me. My wife said she might even join, so we'll have to see. She's pretty busy with the baby, but occasionally she has time. So there's a lot of cool equipment in this. Yeah, some of the stuff is stuff that we already have in the game, but there's also a lot of new stuff too, and also a lot of new brands. So, and the new map, of course, is really cool. We toured that already. So hopefully you guys will have fun with this new equipment. Like I said, I'm pretty excited about all this stuff. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and it gives you something to do while your crops are growing. You got other things you can do now, though some of this stuff's real expensive. So it may be a while before we use all of it in game, but I'm still pumped. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next coverage video. We'll probably start playing around with this equipment, and I'm going to do that on Twitch. And so the next video you see will most likely be a replay of us playing with the new equipment and answering questions about the pack, trying different things out as we dig a little bit deeper into what it includes and trying to make some of this stuff work. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please give a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. If you want to watch the live stream, I have a feeling it's going to be running long before this video gets launched. But it's going to be 7 p.m. That's Friday night. And I will be running another one tomorrow. I'm going to say probably mid-afternoon, maybe 2 to 3 o'clock. And we'll run it for a decent amount of the afternoon. We'll stream. And then, again, probably a little bit on Sunday. Now, I do have to work on Monday, so I don't know what I'll be doing then. And there's some family stuff going on, too, on Sunday. So, but for sure, we're going to be covering it tonight and tomorrow. God bless you guys. Have a good night, and I will see you hopefully on stream. The link to the Twitch stream is in the description. Bye.